Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. It's Susie McCrae, and today's interview is going to be with Mark Suma. He's going to give you details about what he does and where he is. But first, it's called Blush.
Center for Healing.
Blush Center for Healing, and we'll get you all that information. And as you know, I'm doing these interviews and facilitating with people who have gone out and done what they find to be what they really want to do, adding value to other people's lives, and their purpose and their why. And I'm just going to talk quickly a little bit about how I met Mark, and then you're going to listen to him, and he's amazing. Mark is one of the most interesting people I've ever met in my life, and I truly believe he was put in my path for a reason on my journey. So I met Mark a few years ago. I was in a lot of pain, my body, and I knew a lot of the pain in my body was from stress and a lot of what was going on in my life. And his father-in-law, Tony, recommended that I go to Mark and go for some deep massage. So I went to Mark, and the first time I went, I thought the police were going to be called because I was screaming. It was like cathartic. It was a good kind of feeling. But I didn't just get a massage that day. I did not. What I got was spiritual, physical, almost like a therapeutic discussion, massage. And Mark was instrumental in allowing me to get healthier and start making changes in my life. And it didn't happen overnight. But Mark was like one of the main pieces of the puzzle in my life to help me to get to where I am today. So I'm so excited to have him here, and I don't want to do all the talking because he's so interesting. And he's a psychic is what Mark is. And it's so funny because he was on my list to have an interview, and I'm just getting ready to call him, and he texts me and he goes, Susie, when am I doing my interview? I'm like, how did he know? He knows. Okay, so without further ado, so Mark, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and how you feel that this is what you were meant to do.
Okay. Thank you, first of all, Susie, for having me.
Of course.
Today. It's a pleasure to do the interview. Again, my name is Mark Suma. I go by Psychic Mark, and I have a place called the Blush Center for Healing. My mission with that is to help people to heal. And I do that in many different ways. One is I do psychic mediumship, is where I channel and listen from the other side of loved ones who have lost, but also about you psychically of what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's what came up a lot with Susie, is that things and patterns that she picked up from her childhood, from her family situation, from her work life, that we addressed. And as those things came up, Susie started to change. I have a mission through my past experiences is to, I'll just say the mission statement of the Blush Center for Healing.
Sure.
And it's to create a world of love, commitment, and empowerment by sharing my truth, joy, and hope for change. And
Wow.
That's really what the whole center is about. We have 2 centers in Amherst and Northampton. I created Spirit Talk, which is one of the things that I do. Mm-hmm. And I'll talk a little bit about what we worked on with Susie after that. Is Spirit Talk is every Thursday, and I host a gallery reading. And it's really great because it's affordable for anyone that can walk in.
What is it? It's like $20 to come in.
$20 per person.
And it's just, it happens on Thursday nights in Northampton, and it's magical.
Exactly.
And I got to tell you, I was a skeptic.
And I love to have skeptics because I'm not here to prove anything. All I do is share what comes through me, and that seems to do the work.
He did a home party about a year ago at my friend Barb's house, and I invited a group of people. And in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes. I wanted to help people. I wanted to help people heal from their grieving, people who had some major losses in their life. And I went in there with like, okay, I want to help everyone feel good. Well, I was blown away. I almost fell out of my chair because Mark didn't know these people, but I did, and the things he was bringing up and talking about gave me chills. But also, what it did was it gave my friends and the people there a sense of hope, a sense of healing, and being okay with their grief. Anyway, so I get so excited about this.
And that says it all. Is my whole mission is to give people a sense of hope. I have a statement that I come with. It's kind of my marketing statement. It's called "Become Alive Again." And what I mean by that is that we each and every trauma we go through, we slowly die. A physical part of us shuts down unless we process it. Sometimes we bury it, and many years of burying, our body takes it on, and our whole spirit can take it on, and we struggle. I use an item called mystical energetics, where I combine the body work, like I did with Susie, along with the psychic channeling, chakra balancing, and also the cranial sacral work. And what it does, it starts revealing the trauma and shifting the body. And Susie went through this over a period of time.
I sure did.
And I don't mean this in a negative way, her denial to see things was really strong, but she also had a beautiful sense of the ability to want to be open and want change. And things started to really happen.
I was hungry for change.
Yes.
I mean, I
and
remember
burnout too. And it was like the big shift for that.
I remember he was what's it called you do with my feet?
Reflexology.
He was
add to that.
He was like on one of my feet where I used to wear high heels when I worked for Stop and Shop store openings on my feet all day, and he's like, ooh, here we go. Let's let go of some of that Stop and Shop stress. And he knew. And it came out. And of course I was screaming, but it felt unbelievable.
And it's always the end result that really brings out a lot.
Yeah.
And like anything, as you may all know, is that we have to re-feel pain a lot to let it go. And that's what grief is about. We are taught in our culture almost to stuff grief, that we don't have the permission to feel loss.
bad. Yeah.
My whole mission, it comes from me going through that process. I'm no different. I psychically and mediumship-wise channel both you and loved ones who have passed that come through to send messages to you. When you don't grieve, your body stores it. And then illness comes, disease. My whole mission is to channel that and bring the grief back up. I went through a period of losing a daughter, losing a father.
Right. You just lost your mom,
family,
right?
And I lost my mom.
Yeah.
This was 30 years ago about 30 years ago, losing my dad and my daughter. And I stuffed it. And what happened was I ruptured an artery from stress and was given my last rites, and it was over. And I made a commitment, if I lived, to change my life. It was a slow process, but in that I made some really had some insights, and one of them was that if I allowed myself to grieve, the grief was actually a gift. It became the catalyst to heal. And so I saw that, and I started putting together with my body work and then the psychic work and the mediumship to start creating mystical energetics, and that's what Susie came for. Started with the body work, and then we went more into it. And it was quite amazing. Susie is like a different person now from when I met her.
Yes.
And still has the heart of gold, always did and always will. But her body was worn out, stressed. Her being was worn out. She was kind of looking for a way to change. And she couldn't see it, but by the gift of the work that I did, it came through me for her to see it, and boom, she was on like a new track.
Yeah.
And what a change.
Oh, well, thank you, Mark. You know, this didn't happen overnight either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not here saying that or judging people or anything like that of what you need to do in your life. I'm here to facilitate what I did, what other people have offered, and I'm hoping you see or hear some value in what Mark's saying. I mean, I look so forward to seeing him and letting go of some things or just recognizing some things. But I got to tell you, it took me, I had to get healthy first, which I did. And I'm still on that health journey, but that's when I started making better choices in my life. I had a clearer head. My body felt better. I started taking care of myself. And just, I hadn't seen Mark for a while, and I started my body started taking in some more stresses going on. And I immediately called Mark, and I had a lovely visit. I call it my therapy visit with him. And he brought me back to life again. And it wasn't like I had taken all these steps backwards, but I had. And, I'm human too.
The
Mark's
patterns
human.
are deep.
The patterns are deep.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. But the good thing is I recognized the pattern, and I'm like, all right, I got to get back to taking care of myself again.
Yes.
And I went to Mark, and it's like, I feel fantastic. I mean,
I think if anything I could share the most with you is that there's always hope. You can be so far down, lost in depression, physically burnout, but there's always hope for change. And all you have to do is be willing to ask and receive, and things will start changing. My whole mission, again, is to come in, and if someone comes to me, is just to listen and to hear what needs to be said. And almost 100% of the time, the truth always prevails and comes through. Now, the key is whether you want to listen and hear it. But because it goes right to the heart, usually, it opens you up. And there's a lot of grieving in my sessions, but it's healing. There's a really strong sense of safety. It's another thing is I think Susie had mentioned, I feel comfortable around you. And I create a really safe environment for people.
Absolutely.
Whether it's with the gallery readings, whether it's with the psychic individual mediumships, I do phone readings, or even the mystical energetics.
And the home meeting you did too. Everyone
Yes.
felt very comfortable. And you know what I'd like, Mark, if of course you don't mind me asking, because there's no rules. The rule of these interviews is there are no rules.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
And
there's no editing.
Yeah.
This is it. So part of what my purpose is to share with people who have done something that they felt here, like their purpose to do. And I know originally you worked in other corporations, you worked as a massage therapist, and you took the plunge to say, I'm gonna go with my heart and do the things that I know I was meant to do. So if you could just maybe tell a little bit about how that happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, before I became a psychic medium, I was doing, there's a couple layers here, but one is the whole bodywork and healing field was one shift for me. When I had the artery rupture, I was working in a large company, architectural, engineering, and managing all the office supplies, cars, and business stuff like that. And my artery ruptured, and I was pretty much gone and survived. I never went back to that job. The day that happened, I got accepted to massage school. So it was like this larger timing piece going on. That put me on the path of healing many years. I still had a lot of roadblocks. 2 years into that, my daughter died. But I kept persevering. I knew somewhere deep there was more to this. I worked and had the opportunity to work with the most famous people in the world, movie stars, business people in New York and LA, at the most famous spas internationally.
And he did. Some very famous people.
Even that gave me all the ability to go even deeper into healing. And 3 years ago, I lost my hearing. I have a hearing aid, but if I take it off, I don't hear anymore. Most people would struggle with that, which I did. But I was allowed myself to grieve through the process and look at it as a gift for me to start working in another level. When I lost my hearing, at the same time, the psychic and mediumship started to really come in very strong. And I knew in my heart that was the shift. And all of a sudden the doors opened. as long as I took the effort to take a risk. And I took a risk. And the beautiful thing is, I didn't do anything but just be willing. And all of a sudden, I get a call from somewhere in Connecticut, and I did a show in front of 100 people, gallery readings. I've never done it before. And made more money in 1 hour than I could possibly make in a week or two.
But you weren't even thinking
And I wasn't even,
Yeah.
it came to me. I was asked to do meditation and workshops for Forever Family Foundation, which was an organization that helped parents who lost children. Doors kept opening. And I created a whole new studio for that in Northampton, where I do psychic readings and the channelings as we've talked about. And it keeps growing. I met Susie, and she was probably one of the first professional sessions that I had, but it was a blessing because it really did a lot for her. And now I'm creating workshops, I'm creating relationships with other organizations. In July, I'll be at the Northampton Country Club having a dinner psychic medium night. Look forward to that. I'll give some more information to Susie, and you can go to my website, psychicmark.com, and that'll give you some more information.
Now, just a side note, I used to work at Northampton Country Club years ago while I was
So
in
we're
college.
going to bring Susie back to that.
Yeah, I would be cooking breakfast and lunch and working at the bar there. I have a lot of fond memories of that. But I think what Mark said is very key to this. Now, this last September, I left my corporate career. And I was in it out of fear, staying in a job out of fear. And I think what Mark really helped me do was embrace my fear and not just try to get rid of my fear, but embrace it. And I can't explain it, but it stuck with me, that embracing the fear and almost falling in love with that fear and being okay with that fear helped me get unstuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I am forever grateful to Mark. We have a great relationship. We have a lot of fun. Sometimes it's amazing when he talks to me, he starts talking about something that I'm thinking about, and it just comes out. I mean, this guy is so talented and so gifted, and I'm so thrilled that you came today.
It was a blast. It always is meeting you. It's something always new with Susie, and that's what's great about her. She's willing to take risks and change. And if anything I could say at the end here is that if you're just willing a little bit, so much can change in your life. And you really don't have to do anything but be willing and then start receiving. And it's helped me. I've gone through such things that most people haven't. And it's been so traumatic, but I was willing to change and listen and feel everything. And those catalysts, or those things that happen, were the catalysts to give me hope. And fear is really just something that has power over you if you let it. But if you really face it, you find that it's very small.
And you've made a lot of it up in your head.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the story you tell yourself.
And once you find the grief and the feelings behind it, the fear disappears and your energy flies forward. And I think that's a big thing that can help people move forward.
So we're all about adding value to people's lives, and I am forever blessed that Mark has added this value to my life and continues to. And my hope is that people watching this today will get some value nuggets out of it that will, we're not here to motivate, inspire. I mean, we can use all those, personal development type things. We're just here to say we are your average people looking at our purpose and giving and opening up and just kind of letting life be. And I got to tell you, on my health journey, the best thing I did was partner with Mark, because it helped let me start living especially in the moment. So anyway, with that, Mark, any other tidbits you want to give? Like, I know you add value to a lot of people, but are you doing what you love to do? I think that's the whole point of this too.
Here's an example. I could work 60 hours, 70 hours a week and love it. And what comes from that is because I'm working from my heart, not from my mind. And what I find when I work from my heart is that energy flows. And it flows through love. And I think out of anything, when we love ourselves, we automatically want to love others and serve them. And I think that's my whole mission. And I think everyone's mission is to feel loved and to feel like they have a purpose. And once you find it, again, if you're willing to face the fear and step over that or step through it, life changes. And it has for both of us. And we're sitting here doing this interview.
Yeah, and
I couldn't even speak 20 years ago to do this.
I know, and you know, the old Susie would have done a PowerPoint, notes, practice, rehearsed in the mirror. Those days are gone.
Yeah.
That's, you know, this is just, Mark came in, I said the rules are, there's no rules, let's just do it.
Yeah.
So
And that
it's
can be
refreshing.
life.
It's refreshing.
Yes.
It's refreshing to just be and have fun doing it. We know our purpose and our why, but maybe not the how all the time.
Yeah.
And I think when you start overthinking and, oh, what did this person do? Or should we do it like this? Or how does Oprah do it? Who cares? It's like, it's how we're doing it. And there's so much freedom to that, to just be ourselves on this video.
And with the psychic mediumship, I'm not doing anything. And most people think it's me. I'm a channel. It comes through me. So I have nothing to prove. I just share what comes from the other side or comes from the cosmos. And that's the beauty of it, because I could just be me and do my work.
Yeah.
And it comes like that. Susie's example, I have many other examples. Go to my website, psychicmark.com. Ask Susie. Talk to friends. It's a great thing. And it's such a pleasure to be here.
Oh God, I've had a ball, and I agree with Mark. And we're not going to belabor the point, but it's I am not doing anything special. I'm just being me, and I'm just sharing and facilitating. And these interviews are going to continue so that the audience can just hear or see and just maybe pick up, like I said, some value nuggets or something that someone says that kind of sits with you in the right way, and it helps you make a change in your life that's positive.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to give you a big
It's a pleasure.
Okay.
You enjoy your Saturday.
Bye, everyone. We're
enjoying our Saturday.
We're enjoying our Saturday. Goodbye.
Have a
everyone.
good day. Bye-bye.